This whole video is sped up.
Hello, I'm assuming you just came from Scratcher from the main channel, and it's BTBA's 1 year anniversary. So hi, I'm Randomness, one of the creators of BTBA, and today we're just going to talk about a bunch of old BTBA stuff from the first ever iteration of BTBA, which was actually on Scratch. The show has Scratch origins, which, I mean, pretty obvious if you look at our host. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just going to go from least interesting to most interesting, I guess, so. Okay, so obviously our host, Scratcher, is a modified version of the Scratch Cat, but originally the host was just going to be Scratch Cat, just no modifications, but eventually we decided to modify him. And so the first ever modification, first ever mock-up we made was this, which it's not too bad, but as you can see, it's definitely different from the one we have now, the final version. But in between those two, there was a version which is lost to time. I think Potato might have it, but I made a recreation of it the best I could from memory. This is what it looked like. Absolutely horrible. Let's move on to the orphans. So this is Battery's first ever design made by me. It's very flat. As you can see, this is more of a AA battery than a D battery we have now. It also doesn't have the shock. Something funny is that all the concept art I originally made had BFDI limbs. Then I would send that to Caterpillar and he would redraw it with BFB limbs. And so we just ended up doing BFB style for 1A. And then, so I liked the BFDI style originally, then I started liking the BFB style and we used that for 1A. But then when it came time for 1B, I went back on that and I liked the style of BFDI, or I guess II, so we use that, so it came full circle. Yeah, next one, this is Shiny Object. This hurts my eyes to look at. Oh my god, that pattern. None of the designs I did had any shading. You know, I never got a chance to talk about this anywhere else, so I guess I'll mention it now. In 1A, when he got excited or whatever, his eyes would go rainbow, but then Caterpillar always liked to draw him with Spamton eyes from Deltarune, with the pink and blue, so in 1B and in the 1A thumbnail, I just decided to draw him with that, and I'm much happier with that. I think that's a lot better, so yeah. Next one, oh my god, not this one. What you're looking at is Dodgeball. Not great. Not great at all. So the funny thing, originally BTBA only had 12 contestants instead of the 24 we have now, and Dodgeball was part of it, but then we thought of Taplin, we liked him much better, so we scrapped Dodgeball. Dodgeball was originally male, too. Not great. Anyway, that was all drawn by me. This stuff is from, like, 3 years ago, by the way. Like really old. So now we're moving on from stuff drawn by me to stuff drawn by Caterpillar. Now a lot of this stuff is just seen in 1A, but slightly different. So this is Umbrella. It's Umbrella. This was literally just used. But I'm just gonna talk about now this. This was the original design for Blue Chair. Now this was actually in the same vein as the previous three, the ones that I drew, or not this one. The Blue Chair in 1A was actually in the same vein as the ones I drew, the previous three, Battery, Dodgeball, and Shiny Object. I actually drew Blue Chair, and it was one of those concepts, but it was the least horrible, I guess, and I liked it better than this design from Caterpillar, so this is just completely unused. This is Toaster. This was mostly just seen in 1A, but the gradient on him... Now this, non-existent, so we just didn't even bother making a sunglasses asset for him, or shades. Something that was scrapped was he was originally supposed to have a mouth, which, you know, I'm glad we didn't give him a mouth, because, I mean, then he wouldn't be non-existent if he had a mouth, and yeah, that's an interesting thing about him. This is Wallet. This is mostly the same as in 1A, but there's a gradient. A lot of these have gradients that were removed in 1A. Caterpillar side. Anyways, I guess I should mention here, there are a couple of other concept arts that I drew that are lost, but one thing I definitely remember was Wallet used to be called Walty, and he didn't have legs. I do not know why. Okay, so this is Battery. I really like this design. I honestly, everything's already out of style in 1A, so I wish we just kept the gradients with him. But I really like this design, and I think his pose is really good, so his new character pose, like in the description, is just literally a direct copy of this pose. Shiny Object, not much to say about him. His eye color is quite richer. I don't know. Muffiny. Candle, now, I had my own candle asset, which is the one seen in 1A, and this was Caterpillar's. I liked mine better, he liked his better, and so, yeah, just like something else we'll see in a second, She wasn't supposed to have her plate originally. That was just something Caterpillar added in the pose, but then that was just in the show. So Mousy, not much different from the 1A design besides removed gradients. Now Spicy Chips, it's what I was talking about a second ago with Candle. His eyes, his special eyes, are supposed to, or they weren't supposed to be in the show. They were just something like Caterpillar drew. But then I don't know, when I was making it, I just added them. Tablet, originally he was always powered off. Originally he was always powered off, and we changed that. He was the one that replaced Dodgeball originally, but she was added back. And yeah, there we go for those. So now we're gonna move on to some other stuff. Okay, now this right here, this was with the unused blue chair design from Caterpillar. Now he moves his legs, which is really funny, but kind of waddles. But originally he was just supposed to jump, and so I made this animation. Yeah, honestly, it's not horrible for the time, at least. Now Caterpillar made this one, which is a lip sync test of me back when I still voiced Blue Chair. Now Jillian Katz does. He does a good job. I like his performance for Blue Chair much more than mine. But this is from 3 years ago, so ignore the voice. It's ear grating, very, very high pitched voice, but yeah, the first ever animation of Blue Chair.
This is a lip syncing test.
Yeah, this was made by Caterpillar. This is the first ever, I guess not an animation of Shiny Object, but it was made by Caterpillar. You'll see. Pretty cool. I like this. Okay, so now I'm not sure if this was made by me or Caterpillar. It might have been an edited version of an animation Caterpillar. Yes, that was it. It was an edited version of an animation Caterpillar made that I edited. So this is the earliest animation of Umbrella. I do not know what this even is, but here we go. Whatever we just watched, I'm not sure, but we watched it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the second coolest thing we have. It's the intro to the Scratch version. It has a lot of parallels to the newest intro, which is kind of a funny coincidence. And the song was made by me in Beatbox, and I also animated it, so. So just right here is just like how it is in the newest intro with them all appearing. I don't know why I did that with Muffin. It would be funnier if he was just there. So, he was just, the original house was a Scratch guy. This, they're all color-coded to the green. Yeah. And then this was just better pulled to the now. And that was the original logo. It was just copied from the BTBA logo. Alright, so this is the last thing for today. This is the scrapped episode 1, animated on Scratch. This was animated by Caterpillar. This is what could have been. This is the original episode. Now, before you get too excited, it's like 20 seconds long, and it's just the same script as 1A. Now, the interesting thing here is Caterpillar redid his lines for 1A. I never redid mine. So, without further ado, here we go.
Man, this orphanage is so bad. Remember when the rain seeped through the ceiling and made Chair choke?
Umbrella, that was crazy!
To be honest, it's not that bad for Scratch. Now, I guess that's it. So, thank you for watching. Now, actually, before that, I have the full original episode 1 script. Now, I'm not sure when I should release it, maybe for another anniversary, but instead of just releasing it, I think what we might do is we might make it into a full episode, animate it and everything, to just share what could have been. I mean, it's going to be like only 4 minutes, but anyways, thank you for watching. You can find the character poses in the description and the Google Drive, and thank you for 1 year.